All right, good morning, you guys. Happy Sunday. We are going to batch and plan for the week. Do I have anybody that's new? Never batched, never planned, anything like that? If you are new, drop it in the chat. Go figure, once I hit record, the waiting room starts going up. Okay. I don't think we have anybody new, so we're going to dive right in. Oh, new. Okay, cool. Welcome, welcome. So what we do in this batching and planning Zoom is we get ourselves set up for the week. I don't want to necessarily say fully batched and planned because, as you guys know, batching and planning kind of continues throughout your entire week. So this is where we are going to get topics together of what to post about, what our stories should look like. We're going to get ourselves our focused IPA ready for the week, meaning what do we really want to focus on this week and so on with that focused IPA. We're going to talk a little bit of background work this week because I really think that that might be the missing piece for a lot of y'all. So I want to make sure that we talk about that. So having your fives list out. So if you're new, having your fives list out, if you've gone through the trainings, you know what those are. If you have not gone through the trainings yet, that's okay. Think of 5 things that you love about the products, 5 things that you love about the business, and 5 things about you, because that's going to help you plan for your week of content. If you are also new and in Limitless, one of the things that I highly recommend you utilizing is the content map. So if you are new, if you go into Limitless, this is also going to be in the guides, but you can search content map and this is going to pull up for you. I really recommend using this until you get your feet planted and you feel good. If you are struggling with your content, you're struggling with consistency, you're struggling with anything like that, y'all, even if you've been here for a long time, go back to your content map. This maps out everything for you. We have also in the stories. So what to do every day in your stories. If you are struggling with consistency, what to say, how to make things flow, go into Limitless, grab that map for the stories for the entire month. And I want you to use that this month. Y'all, all the tools are there to help you be consistent, to help you get yourself into that routine and into that discipline. So if you are struggling with what to talk about, how to talk about things, grab the content map, grab the stories map, and use those. Follow it exactly what it says, put you into it because it is very basic. It'll say Mondays before Thrive, right? You have to write that caption. So it's still going to be you and yourself and your content, but this is going to map out everything for you. It takes the guesswork out of everything. So if you are struggling, please utilize the things that we have our hands on. So next thing that we are going to do, you guys, we are going to talk about our focused IPA. Limitless topics that Lynn's, yes, the limitless topics that, thank you, Adele, for sharing that. I love that. The limitless topics, you guys, Lynn's put some stuff together. I think it was her and Rochelle that they put some things together for limitless topics. And then they put that into the guides. So it's your first 14 days. And then thereafter, you can use them no matter when you are in, no matter what point you're in your business. So please, you guys, utilize the resources that we have. They're there for a reason. Your leaders come together. Lindsay and other leadership come together to put things together for you, right? So utilize them. Don't let them just be a waste of space or create it. The playbook, you have the playbook, utilize it. The map, utilize it. The stories, utilize it. The topics, utilize it. The story content or the graphics that Lindsay and I put out every single month, utilize them, right? We take our time to do those for you guys every single month. So you have them. Utilize that kind of content, right? It's all there for you. This is when you're going to plug it in. So we are going to start with our focused IPA. And what does that mean? We do have somebody new here, Rochelle. Rochelle's just jumping on. So we do have someone new here, just so you know, Rochelle, when you're chatting, I don't know if the chat would show you that she was new or not, because I don't know how things happen when you pop in. But anyways, so we're going to talk about focused IPA, and what our focused IPA is, that specific thing that you're going to focus on each day after you run through your list of IPAs. Now, if you're newer, maybe your list of IPAs is very short right now. Maybe you're just focusing on 2 things or 3 things or whatever you and your enroller have come up with. So if that's the case, this is something that you can just focus on after those 2. And it doesn't have to be crazy. It can just be to start getting you a little bit more consistent with working your business. So those are going to be those page loves, interactions, 3-2-1s, however you want to call it. Everybody calls it something different, but I like to make sure that you're being intentional with that interaction, meaning you are going to that person's page. You're not just looking at their story bubble. You're not just looking at their feed when it pops up in your graphic. You are actually taking the time to go to that person's profile and give them love. However that may be, whether it be through comments, whether it be through hearts, whether it be through stories. Story interactions, that's going to get you guys in the DMs. So story interactions are going to be really huge. If you are lacking conversations, if you are lacking, you feel like your inbox is empty, when's the last time you actually went and started conversations? You guys, you have to start the conversations and you have to put the content out that brings them in for conversations, right? They go hand in hand. Story interactions, growing your network and cleaning up your network. Those are great focused IPAs, especially in the summertime. This is the perfect time, you guys. People are out and about and doing more things. So if you want to grow locally, start looking at geotags. Where are you taking your kids? Where are you spending your time? Where are you going for your workouts or your walks? Or where are you eating out or shopping and so on? People are more active in the summer. They're tagging in more. They're geotagging themselves. There's a lot more going on in the summers, meaning fairs and I don't know, just a bunch of different things. Farmers markets, if you're somebody that's into farmers markets, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to look at those things, right? We have like a big antique show that comes through here. And it's like the Utica Antique Show, they call it. A lot of people go to it. So guess what? When the Facebook event page pops up, I'm going to make sure I go into it because guess what? That's everybody that's local to me going there, right? So I can grow my network locally about people that like antique stuff. And I kind of do enjoy that stuff. So it doesn't always have to be according to your fives either, you guys. Just grow your network. You're going to end up finding yourself having that connection with someone no matter what. It could be off of your fives. It could be something so small like, oh my gosh, you love drinking apple juice as much as I do. Now we connected over apple juice. Is this my fives? No, it should be because I drink it every day. But is it my fives? No, apple juice is not my fives. But do you see what I'm saying? You can connect with people off of different things, y'all. So please make sure that you are not just sticking to your fives when you're trying to grow, because you're going to grow for so many different things. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. Let's get that focused IPA in. And I do want to talk real quick. So please, you guys keep working. This is also a great time to plug in that background work, that focused background work that you are going to do for the day. These are things that Rochelle and I used to touch on in our planning and batching a long time ago. We kind of switched things up, but I think this might be the missing piece for some of y'all if you feel like your business is not going in the direction you want it to go. It is very important to make sure that you are creating content. Yes, we have content that's out there, but also creating your own content, right? Putting your own branding to certain things. Making sure you're checking in with your customers, customer appreciation, writing little notes to your team. This is all background work, checking your back office to see what auto ships are coming and making sure that you're reaching out to those auto ships that are coming and checking in with them. These are things you need to be planning, y'all. These are things you need to be planning. Whether you have 0 customers, 10 customers, get your customer appreciation down now. Get your habits down now. I blew up with customers when I had my insane weight loss and all that kind of stuff. This was a couple of years ago. Guess what? I did not have in place anything with my customers. And guess what ended up falling? All of my customers. So please do not wait until you have that 1 or 5 or 10 customers. Start now with that one customer. Start now being great with that one sample person and making sure you have a system in place of how you're going to follow up with them and so on. Rochelle, if you have anything you want to add on background work, please do. But y'all make sure that you are planning that in.
No, I'll drop a list into the chat of like background work for you guys who want to like kind of copy and paste it and save it and stuff like that. I wanted to add something about growing your networks really quick. And I'm sorry if the TV is loud. So I hear all the time that people like, you know, like there's a lot of thrivers in my town. The network or the market is like saturated, like this, that, and the other. Like people might look at their hometown and see, like I said, a lot of thrivers and think that there's no room for them to grow because everyone's already thriving. So when we're talking about focused IPAs, growing your network is one of the most important IPAs, because here's the thing. I come from a small town, and yes, there are a lot of thrivers in that town. A lot of you on here right now are from my hometown. But the thing is, my team is, I mean, if I were to get out a map, I would probably check off almost all 50 states. Like, I probably at least have one customer or one promoter in every single state. And that's from growing my network. So if you want to build this business big, you're going to want to grow your network, because the point of growing your network is to reach people outside of your warm market, outside of your small town. You know what I mean? And growing your network is how you're going to do that. So if you are somebody who looks at, your town and your Facebook, and you feel like there's already so many thrivers, like, how am I ever going to find someone? Like, everyone's already thriving. Grow your network. So I wanted to add that while we were on that topic.
Sorry for y'all that were in the waiting room. I was working and doing my planning and batching. So I apologize. Normally Rochelle does this part, and then when I actually have to do it, I forget. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, oh yeah, I have to let people in. So we are working on that focused IPA, just kind of wrapping that up, you guys, before we head into content.
All right, does everyone have their focused IPAs planned out for the week? Can I see like a thumbs up or something in the chat? Okay, I see thumbs. Cool. All right, let's move on to figuring out, kind of planning out what we're gonna post for the week. So if you are, I want you to kind of think about where you are at in your business, what your goals are this month, this week, like what you're trying to do. Are you trying to thrive for free? If you're in your VIP period, you're probably maybe trying to lock in like that one customer and that one promoter for that VIP 400. So, you kind of have to have a good balance of, okay, I've got to talk about the products if I want to enroll a customer, but I also need to talk about the business a little bit if I want to enroll a promoter, right? So get clear on kind of what you need to focus on for your business this upcoming week. And then what I do when I'm assigning my post topics is I first, before I pull out like that limitless topic sheet or the content map or anything like that, is I go through my days and I assign what I'm going to talk about, meaning, and this is for my business, right? You guys know you're not just only going to post about Thrive this week, but that's what we're planning right here on this Zoom. So I figure out, am I going to talk about on Monday? Am I going to talk about the products or the business? And then Tuesday, am I going to talk about the products or the business? And I go through and I will put in my planner like product or business for each day. And then I go through and I'm like, okay, on Monday, if I'm going to talk about the products, what about the products am I going to talk about? Well, then you can pull like the Mondays before Thrive thing, right? And I can talk about how I used to absolutely dread Monday mornings. Sunday nights sucked because I dreaded getting up in the morning and my alarm going off and going to work and all of the things. I was exhausted. I didn't want the weekend to end. And so I can talk about how the products, give me the energy to get up and out of bed and I don't dread my mornings anymore. So that's what I will put for Monday, right? And then I'll move on to Tuesday. Tuesday, I always talk about the business because it is payday. So what about the business? And this is where we're going to pull out our fives or our, I keep calling them pain points, Christina. I don't know if we've come up with other words. I say that every week. That's just what I keep going to, but I pull out those lists.
Solutions.
Like,
she always says solutions.
Solutions. Okay. Yes. So I pull out my solutions of what that weekly pay has done for my family. And if you're not yet at the point where you're earning a paycheck, you're going to talk about the fact that you are eligible to unlock weekly pay and what that's going to do for your family. So do you guys see what I mean with figure out if you're going to talk about the products or the business? And then underneath that, what exactly are you going to talk about? And this is going to help when we go into the batching portion. But also just throughout the week, when you open up your planner, you're going to know exactly what you are talking about that day. We're going to take the guesswork out of it right now. So pull out those fives lists, the limitless topic, post, PDF, whatever you need, pull that out right now. And let's just kind of take the next few minutes to go through and figure out what we're going to post about this week. If you guys have any questions, because I know we do have some new people on here, feel free to drop it in the chat and I will go ahead and answer as I see them come in. Haley, we're planning our post topics for the week.
Guys, take another like maybe minute and wrap that up, and then we are going to head into stories before we head into the batching portion. So I chatted about the stories when we first started this Zoom. So I'm going to go over it real quick again, because Lindsay puts out in the beginning of the month an overall like monthly schedule of what your stories can look like. So if you are struggling with your stories and being consistent in your stories, when it comes to Thrive, I really suggest you utilizing that. It doesn't matter whether you're in the beginning of stages of your business, or maybe you've been in this business for a long time. Sometimes you have to go back. You guys, there are times where I'm just like, okay, I need a refresh, I need to reset or something like that. I go back to these things. I go back to the content map. I go back to the story guides and so on and so forth. So when it comes to stories, y'all, making sure you're talking about samples is going to be huge, because if you want, like if your goal for this month of June, we're in the beginning of June, y'all. So if your goal this month is, I want to send out 10 samples, well, how are you going to get those 10 samples out? If your goal is, I want to enroll 4 customers, how are you going to enroll those 4 customers? If your goal is to get help 3 new people start their business, are you talking about the business in your stories? Are you talking about the products in your stories? And are you offering samples? So yes, it is so good to have those goals of PPA goals and volume goals and number goals and all that kind of stuff. But y'all, you're never going to get there if you don't share, right? You're never going to get the samples out if you don't tell people you have the samples. You're never going to get the customers if you're not talking about the products, and you're never going to get the promoters. And I don't mean get the promoters, but you're never going to enroll the promoters if you're not talking about the business. So you need to make sure that in your content, you have you there. Absolutely do not get lost and just become all Thrive. Make sure you have you, but you also have to make sure that you are talking about the products, talking about the business, so on and so forth. So in your stories, getting those sample slides. We have sample slides already pre-made for you. There's multiple ones in the team page you can look for. Make some of your own, whatever you want to do, get face-to-face, sharing what the products are doing for you, what they've done for you. Maybe that day specifically, the products did something and you were like, I don't know if anybody else is struggling with this today. Y'all, let me get you a sample, right? Whether you do free samples, you charge for samples, however you want to do it, it doesn't matter. Share that in your stories. Why did you choose this company? What about weekly pay? Does your network know you get paid every single Tuesday? You want them to know that. You want them to know they could be creating a weekly paycheck for themselves. That's going to be huge. Other Thrivers results. Whether you are here for before and afters or weight loss or whatever, share what everybody else's journey is on. I am a weight loss before and after, but guess what? There are people in my network that probably don't even want weight loss. So guess what? I'm making sure to share people that don't have just weight loss results. They just have true glow up, right? They just have the products have helped them become a better version of themselves. I make sure to share that. Maybe somebody is on a weight gain journey. I make sure to share some of our weight gain babes that have used these products for weight gain. I am not pregnant. I make sure to share mamas that are thriving. Right? I don't have kids, anything like that, but I make sure to share that aspect of the story. I'm not postpartum, but I make sure to share postpartum journeys, right? I like to share other people's things, y'all, because it showcases all the people that are thriving. And it is very huge. I will tell you guys this much. When I see people, not in our company, I'm just saying other network marketers, when they share people's actual stories, actual posts, actual reels, I love to go and look and stalk a little bit. And then it makes me more intrigued to buy the product from the person that I was already following, that I got to know, like, and trust. But it was like, I can go stalk them and see a little bit of their story. Maybe they're talking about something that hits home to me a little bit more. So then I will message that person and be like, oh my gosh, I saw she was using this product. What is it? Because I really think I need it. Do you see what I'm saying? By sharing that realness of other people. Yes, before and afters are great and the slides are great, y'all. But at the end of the day, make sure that you're sharing people's stories too, their actual like posts and so on, because it really helps to get that know, like, and trust too. Because guess what? Some people might look at graphics and think, okay, but when you see an actual person's page that you can go to, it gives them a little bit more of that trust factor in you. Does that make sense? It gives them more of a trust factor in you. So let's get our stories together. Figure out what you want to talk about. You can figure out for the entire week. You can figure out maybe for the next few days. Getting in your stories at least 2 to 3 times a week. Sample packs is going to be really huge. I love making sure that we do that, getting at least 2 to 3 sample packs out there. So if you need to be, I know like Rochelle has set days that she offers them. Maybe that needs to be you. And that's the days that you're offering them because it keeps you consistent. You might be like me, where sometimes you're like, yes, I need the structure. And sometimes you're like, no, I need YOLO. I need to just do my own thing because that's what I like to do. But guess what? I have check mark boxes in my calendar that says samples. I at least want to offer them 2 times a week and then I check them off. Right. So it depends on what your style is. Go with it. Right. If you're somebody that needs to be extremely planned, y'all, because you have a busy schedule, 9 to 5, kids everywhere, you can't fly by the seat of your pants. This is where it's important. I said this in my morning message yesterday, you guys, because it's very easy when life gets busy to put your business to the back seat. But if you are batched and you are planned, your business will never take the back seat because you don't have to have one or the other. You don't have to be present with my family or my business works. You can have them both. This is where planning and batching comes into place, right? And you don't ever have to post in real time either, you guys. So I used to be someone, and I will admit to this because maybe this is you. If I was doing things with my husband or my family and I wanted to share it in my stories, it was like I had to take the picture, put it in my stories. And I'm not somebody that's quick. I don't type that quick. I'm not the quickest person ever. So I would snap the picture, be in the moment, but then I'm also trying to be on social media sharing it. So guess what I learned to do? I learned to snap the picture, save it, and I come back later. I learned to snap the picture, save it, come back later. Sometimes it might be later that night. Sometimes it might be later basically the next day. But I'm learning to be present, and you can be present on social media and they don't have to simultaneously be together. Because I used to feel unauthentic if I wasn't posting in real time because I felt like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing but I actually did that earlier. And like, I'm telling my network, like, oh, I'm having a great day spending it with my nieces, but like, I'm at home in bed now. You know what I mean? And I felt inauthentic and all these things, but it's not. I am still sharing my day. I am still sharing, and they can coexist.
I was talking to someone recently who's fairly new, and one of the things she struggled with was like time in the morning. Like, you know, she didn't have time to take these videos of her products or whatever she was doing and then like edit them and like figure out what she was going to like put for words over it and post it and all these things. And she thought that she needed to do it in real time. And same thing, like guys, half the time when I actually it's like every single morning, I will wake up, I'll take my products and I will snap the boomerang or record myself or whatever I'm doing. But then just like Christina said, I save it to my camera roll. So those 3 little dots in the top right corner for those who are new and maybe still learning like Instagram and stuff, those 3 dots in the top right corner, save to your camera roll. I don't post my products on my stories until most of the time, like at least an hour after I've already taken them. So I will take them And then I'll go about my morning because I am like a busy mom, right? So like my kids do wake up and I have to get them breakfast, get them settled down. Hi, buddy. Do all these things. I can't post right then and there. And so I just wanted to add that I do the same exact thing. I never post in real time. Like it's very rare that a photo I put up on my story is actually right then and there.
All right, y'all, we are gonna start batching, and batching will look different to everybody else, so please do not force yourself into batching if your creative juices aren't there. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to set timers. We're gonna do 3-minute timers. We're gonna get a few in. and you can do multiple different things right now. You can start batching your content so you know what you want to talk about Monday. So let's say Mondays before Thrive, you can open up your notes in your phone and you can start typing out the caption that you actually want to place with your picture or reel or whatever the case may be. So you can be working on captions right now. If you're not in that creative mode or mood, I can tell you right now, for me personally, I'm more creative at night. So I do a lot of my actual captions at night. For some reason, I don't know why, it just is what it is. So right now, what I am doing for batching is I am going to go scroll some reel sounds and get some ideas, because tomorrow I have oh my gosh, if I could get some words together, that'd be great. I have, well, you know what, let me just go to the day so I can read it off. Create content. There we go. I have create content tomorrow. So I am going to go and scroll some reel sounds right now. I'm also going to go and change up some graphics. So personal graphics that I already have used and saved, that like in Canva, I'm going to go switch up the photo, switch up a couple things. So I know what I want to use this week. I'm going to go into the team page, save any before and after, save any sample slides that I want to use. So I have everything ready to go. I'm going to write things down so I can kind of vision and map out what my week is going to look like. I also like to scroll through photos in these batching times, my own personal photos. I add a preset to them. I get to know what photos I want for the week. So this way my photos are already ready. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Where batching right now is multiple different ways of batching. You can batch your content, you can batch your captions, you can batch anything that you want. So we're going to go ahead and let's start the 3-minute timers. You probably already batching, but we're going to start the timer since I was chatting and never started it. And we are going to start getting ourselves set up and ready for the week. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. All right, y'all, timer just went off. So if you want to switch things up, go ahead and switch things up. The timer just went off, you guys, so we're going to start another round. All right, the timer just went off, so we'll do another round. All right, you guys will do one last session of 3 minutes, and then we will wrap up the Zoom. Okay, you guys, that is it for today. I hope you guys feel batched and planned and ready for the week. And here's the thing, y'all, it is okay if you are not 100% done. I work on my batching and planning every single day, and it's evolving every single day. So if you are just getting into batching and planning and you're like, getting a little nervous or something like that, please build confidence in yourself when you are batching and planning and try new things. Personally, for me, this is always evolving. I figure out what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what keeps me going, what doesn't keep me going, that sort of thing. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm over my planner, and I literally midway through a year will just go buy a new planner because I'm just like, that's just my personality. Okay. I'm trying not to do that this year. We're in June, and I will not lie. I was looking at a new planner yesterday, and I was like, no, you don't need a new planner. You have a planner. So, one thing I personally love to do is the night before I get myself ready. It's just been really helping me. I kind of wind down my night. I figure out what I need and what needs to be done. I write down, I get my day ready, so on and so forth. So like for right now, you guys, I am planned for the next 3 to 4 days. And then I will keep adding in, and then I will finish out the rest of my week. So there is stuff kind of plugged in and so on. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend. Your spirit animals. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. If you need any help with this part of your business, Rochelle and I, our inboxes are always open. You guys, your sponsor, your enroller, anybody, make sure that you ask. We don't know if you're struggling if you don't tell us. Okay. So have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you guys all next week. Bye.